There's a moment in every man's life when he meets a woman who feels different. Not because she's the most beautiful. Not because she's the most charming. But because her energy moves toward him in a quiet, intentional way. She doesn't confess her feelings up front. She doesn't rush the connection. She doesn't drown him in dramatic affection. Instead, she reveals herself slowly. Through consistency. Through effort. Through the subtle ways she lets him into her world. Most men miss these signs because they're too focused on words, intensity, or romantic fantasies. But a man who has lived long enough, who has seen temporary connections come and go, knows that when a woman truly wants something real with him, she doesn't announce it. She demonstrates it. One sign at a time. Welcome to the channel, Stoic Love Wisdom. This is where we will learn, explore, and share valuable lessons about love. In today's video, I will reveal to you 6 signs of a woman who wants to go far with you, a new perspective, helping you better understand the factors that determine a happy and sustainable relationship. Let's explore with me the secrets to building a strong and meaningful love. Before we start, find a quiet place, put on your headphones and relax. Let all your worries melt away, and let the messages in this video help you calm down and feel the most complete. Are you ready? Let's start now. Sign number 1. She maintains the connection, not just replies, but reaches out first. There's something a seasoned man learns after enough years of loving, losing, rebuilding, and loving again. A woman's effort speaks louder than her words. And one of the clearest signs that she wants to go further with you is simple, subtle, and unmistakable. She doesn't just respond to your messages. She initiates the connection. Most men underestimate this. They confuse politeness with interest, courtesy with affection, habit with intention. But a woman who truly sees you as a man she wants in her future will not stay passive. Her energy moves toward you. Her presence leans in. Her communication becomes consistent, warm, steady, almost like a gentle rhythm that never breaks. A woman who wants to go deeper with you doesn't vanish for days, doesn't send cold one-word replies, and doesn't make you guess where you stand. She invests emotionally, quietly but clearly. This isn't about texting frequency. It's about emotional availability. It's about the fact that she thinks of you even when nothing is happening, no trigger, no reason, no obligation. She reaches out simply because she wants to feel closer, because you occupy space in her thoughts, because something in her heart feels safe leaning toward you. A mature man recognizes the difference between attention given out of boredom and connection offered out of genuine value. When a woman is serious, her communication becomes intentional. She checks on you, not because she's trying to impress, but because she cares. She shares her day, not to fill silence, but to let you in. She asks about your world, not out of curiosity, but out of emotional investment. She follows up on things you told her, not because she has to, but because she remembers. A woman who wants to go far with you will make space for you in her daily life, even during chaos, stress, or exhaustion. She may not always be talkative, but she will always be present. This is where men of experience separate themselves from those ruled by insecurity. A grounded man does not mistake initiative for neediness, nor consistency for clinginess. He understands that a woman's effort is a sign of respect, interest, and emotional clarity. He observes it quietly, appreciates it deeply, but he does not depend on it. Because he knows that her effort is a reflection of her desire, not a requirement for his worth. And here's what most men forget. A woman will only maintain a connection with a man she sees potential in. She will not waste time nurturing a path that leads nowhere. Women do not water a garden they don't intend to grow. When she reaches out, it means she feels something real taking shape. It means she doesn't want the connection to fade. It means she senses your presence in her life in a way she doesn't want to lose. But a masculine man doesn't rush. He doesn't cling to her effort, nor take it for granted. He matches her energy with calm intention, not emotional dependency. He allows the connection to deepen naturally, without pressure, without force. Because the truth is simple and timeless. Effort is the love language of a woman who sees a future. Consistency is the whisper of her heart inviting you closer. Initiation is her way of saying, without saying it, I want you in my world. And a man who has lived enough to understand the value of genuine feminine effort doesn't chase it, doesn't question it, doesn't sabotage it. He simply receives it with the quiet confidence of someone who knows his worth. And recognizes when a woman truly sees it too. Sign number 2. She slowly lets you into her world. Not out of impulse, but out of trust. One of the rarest, most meaningful signs that a woman wants to go far with you is not loud, dramatic, or obvious. It happens quietly. Gradually. Naturally. Almost without her realizing it. She starts letting you into her world. Not because she needs to impress you. Not because she wants attention. Not because she's trying to lock you in. But because something inside her recognizes your presence as safe, stable, and worthy of access. A woman does not open her world to just anyone. She can flirt with many, talk to a few, spend time with some. But she only reveals herself to the man she sees potential with. A seasoned man knows this difference. He has met the women who are guarded. Who smile but reveal nothing. Who talk but say little. Who share but never expose the inner parts of themselves. But when a woman wants something real, she becomes different. She brings you closer, not just to her, but to her life. She begins introducing you to her closest people. Friends she trusts. Siblings she cares for. Co-workers she respects. Not all at once, not in a display of excitement, but slowly, intentionally, with meaning. Because in a woman's mind, a man she brings into her personal circle is a man she is quietly evaluating for the long path ahead. She also shares her vulnerabilities. The childhood stories she rarely tells. The fears she keeps hidden. The dreams she whispers only when she feels safe. She lets you see the unfiltered parts of her. The stress she carries. The people she protects. The boundaries she keeps. The life she's building. Understand this. A woman is never scattered about who she lets into her inner world. The more she sees you in her future, the more she invites you into her present. She wants you to understand her reality so you can fit into it. She wants you to know her circle so you can move within it. She wants you to see her flaws so you don't idealize her. She wants you to see her dreams so you know what she's moving toward. A woman who wants nothing serious keeps relationships compartmentalized. You in one box, her life in another. But a woman who wants to go far with you lets the borders blur. She doesn't hide her life from you because she envisions a version of it where you belong. And the experienced man. The one who has lived long enough to understand feminine sincerity. Doesn't take this lightly. He doesn't push. He doesn't probe. He doesn't rush to claim space in her world. He simply steps into it with respect, presence, and calm confidence. Because he knows trust cannot be demanded. It can only be offered. And when a woman voluntarily opens her world to you, it means she sees something rare. A man who feels steady. A man who feels reliable. A man who could be part of her story, not just for now, but for later. Remember this. Women don't open the gates of their world because a man is charming. They open them because a man feels like home. And when she begins to let you in, piece by piece, moment by moment, that is not a small sign. That is a silent promise of what she hopes the future may hold. Love is not always about brilliant moments, but often about patience, listening and accompanying in every small step. It is those simple things that nurture a lasting bond. That is also the reason why I believe that every experience in love is an opportunity for us to grow and become stronger. If you feel this, please click like as a way to spread positivity to more people. And if this is your first time visiting our channel, click subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any lessons. I also look forward to hearing your thoughts. What is the smallest but most meaningful thing you have ever realized in love? Leave a comment below. Maybe your answer will become a source of inspiration for others. Now, let's continue our journey to explore deeper perspectives right away. Sign number 3. She becomes curious about your purpose, not just your personality. There is a level of feminine interest that goes far beyond physical attraction, playful chemistry, or casual connection. It is the moment when a woman stops being curious about who you are today and begins wanting to understand who you are becoming. A younger, inexperienced version of you might have missed this shift. But a man who has walked through life, who has failed, learned, risen, and hardened himself through experience, recognizes its depth instantly. Because a woman who wants something real with you won't just ask, "What do you like? What do you do?" Instead, she starts asking questions that only appear when emotional investment begins to take root. What are you building? What do you want for your life? Where do you see yourself in a few years? What matters to you the most? What are you trying to become? This is not small talk. This is a woman evaluating alignment. This is her mind and heart trying to understand whether her future can fit beside yours. Women who see you as temporary rarely ask about your mission. But women who see you as potential want to know whether your path is strong enough, stable enough, and meaningful enough for them to walk with. Because deep down, every woman knows this truth. A man without direction might be fun for a moment. But he is not a man to build a life with. So when she leans into your purpose, not just your personality. When she listens to your dreams instead of just your jokes. When she cares about your discipline as much as your charm. That is a woman who is looking at you with long-term eyes. She wants to know if your values align. She wants to know if your ambitions conflict or complement hers. She wants to know if you can grow side by side, not just stand together today. And the man who has lived enough knows this difference. A woman who is only half invested focuses on the surface. A woman who is fully invested focuses on your soul. She pays attention to the way you talk about your challenges. Are you bitter, or are you learning? She observes how you respond to setbacks. Do you collapse, or do you rebuild? She notices your habits. Are you drifting, or are you moving? Because a woman who wants to go far with you is not choosing the man you are now. She is choosing the man you're becoming. And the life she might share with him. And here's where masculine maturity comes in. A grounded man doesn't boast about his purpose. Doesn't exaggerate his ambitions. Doesn't perform for her approval. He speaks honestly, clearly, calmly. He talks about his mission with conviction, not ego. He knows where he's going. And he knows not everyone is meant to walk that road with him. This subtle confidence, this alignment between words, values, and actions, is exactly what pulls her closer. Because when a woman sees a man who is deeply anchored in his purpose, she sees someone she can trust. She sees a life she can merge with. She sees the possibility of something long-lasting. Remember this. A woman who asks about your mission is a woman imagining herself somewhere in it. And a man who recognizes this doesn't rush, doesn't brag, doesn't get overwhelmed. He simply allows the connection to deepen naturally. Through clarity. Through intention. Through the steady presence of a man who knows exactly who he is and where he is going. Sign number 4. She cares about your emotions, not to control you, but to understand you. There's a profound shift that happens when a woman truly begins to see you as a long-term presence in her life. She stops being curious only about your actions, and starts paying attention to your emotions. Not in a dramatic way. Not in a demanding way. And definitely not in a manipulative way. But gently. Quietly. Intuitively. A woman who wants something serious with you becomes emotionally attentive. She notices when your tone changes. She senses when something feels off. She feels when your energy dips, even if you say nothing at all. And instead of pulling away, instead of protecting her own ego, she leans in. She asks, "Are you okay? Did something bother you? Did I say something the wrong way? Tell me what's going on." This is not interrogation. This is emotional investment. Most men misunderstand this. A boy thinks she's being too much. A damaged man interprets her concern as control. A man ruled by pride thinks she's trying to expose his weakness. But a seasoned, grounded man, one who has lived through enough storms to understand the subtleties of connection, recognizes what this truly means. She is choosing to carry part of your emotional weight with you. That's not something women do for men who are temporary. A woman who wants to go far with you does not let misunderstandings linger. If she senses you're upset, she doesn't let the silence stretch. If she feels you're hurt, she won't pretend she doesn't notice. If something she did caused tension, she doesn't shrug it off. She seeks clarity, not because she fears losing you, but because she values the bond between you. A woman who doesn't care can ignore your emotions for days. A woman who does care cannot ignore them for hours. She makes effort, not excuses. She bridges distance, not builds walls. She chooses understanding, not pride. And here's something only experienced men truly appreciate. When a woman cares about your emotions, she is not trying to fix you. She is trying to build with you. Because emotional connection is the foundation of long-term intimacy. It's what makes two people more than lovers, more than friends. It makes them partners. She wants to know what hurts you so she doesn't repeat it. She wants to know what supports you so she can become part of it. She wants to know what you carry silently so she can lighten the load. This kind of woman doesn't run when things get difficult. She doesn't hide behind walls. She doesn't punish you with silence. Instead, she tries to understand your world from the inside. And the masculine man, the one who stands firmly in himself, doesn't exploit this softness. He doesn't weaponize her empathy. He doesn't hide behind stoicism to avoid intimacy. He doesn't pretend everything is fine when it's not. He responds with honesty, but not emotional chaos. He opens up with clarity, not dependency. He shares enough to build connection, not enough to lose himself. Because the strongest relationships are shaped by two things: her emotional openness and your emotional stability. When a woman genuinely cares about your feelings, it means she sees a future where both of you grow, not alone, but together. Remember this. A woman who wants something real doesn't let you carry your emotions alone. She steps closer. She softens. She listens. She holds space. Not because she has to, but because somewhere inside her, she already sees you as her man. Love is a great lesson in maturity. It challenges us with fragility, teaches us patience through waiting, and gives us strength after being hurt. Here, I don't just tell stories for you to listen to, but for you to reflect on yourself and find your own lessons. If you find it valuable, Please click like and subscribe, so you don't miss out on the shares that can change the way you look at love. Now, get ready with me, because the rest will have a lot more depth waiting for you. Sign number 5. She gives you emotional safety, because she wants a future, not a power game. One of the clearest signs that a woman wants to go far with you is not found in the intensity of her affection, nor in the frequency of her messages, nor in the sweetness of her words. It is found in something far more rare, far more precious. She gives you emotional safety. Not as a tactic. Not as a strategy. Not as a way to secure your attention. But because a woman who wants a long-term connection knows that stability is more valuable than excitement. And clarity is more attractive than chaos. A woman who sees you as temporary might flirt, tease, disappear, return, confuse, provoke, withdraw, and reappear. Because she has nothing to lose. But a woman who sees you as a future investment. She behaves differently. She doesn't play with your mind. She doesn't test your limits. She doesn't weaponize silence. She doesn't treat your feelings like an experiment. Instead, she does something few women genuinely do. She makes things easier, not harder. Her communication becomes steady, not unpredictable. Her words become sincere, not manipulative. Her actions become consistent, not confusing. She tells you where she stands. She tells you what she feels. She tells you what she expects. She removes the unnecessary games that sabotage connection. Because women who want a future understand a fundamental truth. You cannot build something lasting with emotional instability. A relationship only grows where both people feel safe. So she chooses transparency over mystery. Honesty over manipulation. Stability over ego. Presence over power games. She doesn't try to make you jealous. She doesn't disappear to get your attention. She doesn't flirt with others to provoke a reaction. She doesn't keep options open, just in case. Instead, she moves toward you with sincerity. She respects your time. She keeps her promises. She follows through. She communicates when she's busy instead of vanishing. She reassures you when something feels unclear. And here's what only a mature, experienced man understands. A woman gives emotional safety only to the man she does not want to lose. Because emotional safety is an investment. It requires vulnerability. It requires intention. It requires the courage to be consistent. This is why a seasoned man pays attention to how a woman treats his peace, not just his passion. Because passion fades and returns in waves. But peace determines whether two people can truly grow together. A woman who wants to go far with you will protect your peace, not disturb it. She will add calmness to your life, not chaos. She will help you become more of yourself, not less. She will not drain you emotionally, she will anchor you. And what makes this sign truly powerful is this. She is not doing it to win you. She is doing it because she wants to keep you. There's a difference. A woman who sees you as temporary gives excitement. A woman who sees you as her person gives safety. The experienced man recognizes this instinctively. He knows the value of stability. He knows the cost of emotional games. He knows the rarity of a woman who chooses clarity over confusion. And he responds, not with dependency. Not with overconfidence. But with respect. Because emotional safety is not just a sign she wants to go far. It is the foundation of anything worth building. Sign number 6. She starts including you in her future, even in the smallest, softest ways. There is a moment in every growing connection when something subtle shifts. A woman stops seeing you as a chapter. And begins seeing you as a possibility. Not a fantasy. Not a daydream. Not a romantic illusion. But a real, tangible part of her future. And when a woman reaches this stage, she doesn't announce it, she doesn't confess it, and she certainly doesn't dramatize it. Instead, she reveals it in small, delicate, deeply meaningful ways that only a man with experience, awareness, and emotional intelligence will notice. She begins to speak in tomorrows, not just todays. She hints at things you might do together. She imagines moments you haven't lived yet. She makes plans that stretch beyond the present moment. She naturally uses words like we, us, next time, when this happens. As if her heart already sees you walking beside her. These aren't accidental slips. These aren't cute gestures. These are signs of emotional alignment. The quiet ways a woman reveals that her intentions are no longer casual. A woman who does not see you in her future speaks in short timelines. She keeps things vague. She limits the horizon. She avoids concreteness. She talks in maybes, not plans. She doesn't risk weaving you into her long-term vision. Why? Because commitment begins in the mind long before it reaches the lips. But a woman who wants to go far with you allows her imagination to open. Not in a reckless way. But in a hopeful way. Maybe she says, "We should travel there someday." Or, "You get along so well with my cousin." Or, "Next month, I want you to come with me to this event." Or even something as simple and intimate as, "I want to experience that with you." These small phrases are seeds. Seeds of a future she hopes will bloom with you. She may even test the waters subtly, not to manipulate, but to understand whether your vision aligns with hers. What do you think about living in another city someday? Do you want a family? If you had to choose between career and stability, what would you pick? A woman asks these things not out of curiosity, but out of long-term evaluation. She's mapping the road ahead, checking if your direction and hers run parallel rather than intersecting briefly before splitting apart. And here's something only a mature man understands. When a woman sees a future with you, she stops acting like she is alone in hers. She makes room for you emotionally. She considers you when she makes decisions. She adjusts, not to please you, but to include you. Her life expands, gently, naturally, to make space for you. This is not dependency. This is investment. This is intention. This is emotional courage. She is saying, without saying it, "I hope you will be here later. And I'm preparing a place for you in my life." A man of experience receives this not with arrogance. Not with pressure. Not with fear. But with calm recognition. He understands the weight of being included in someone's future. He knows this is not a game. He knows this is not a casual gesture. He knows this is the kind of sign you don't overlook. Because it comes from a woman who has thought deeply before offering it. Remember this. A woman plans a future with the man she feels safe with, respects deeply, and quietly hopes to grow beside. When she starts building that vision with you, even through the smallest comments, the softest hints, the simplest plans, that is not coincidence. That is commitment beginning to take shape. Conclusion. In the end, a woman's desire to go far with you is rarely announced with grand gestures or dramatic confessions. It reveals itself softly, consistently, and with a depth that only a perceptive, mature man will recognize. She maintains the connection because she doesn't want it to fade. She lets you into her world because she sees a place for you in it. She becomes curious about your purpose because she imagines a path beside yours. She cares about your emotions because she values the bond more than her pride. She gives you emotional safety because she's building, not playing. And she includes you in her future because, somewhere inside, she hopes you'll stay in it. These signs are not accidental. They are not random. They are the quiet language of a woman who is serious, intentional, and emotionally invested. But here's the truth most men overlook. A woman's desire doesn't show up in intensity. It shows up in consistency. Not in words, but in actions. Not in pressure, but in presence. When a woman wants to go far with you, her behavior aligns. Her energy aligns. Her effort aligns. Her future slowly opens its doors. And the man who has lived long enough, who has tasted enough heartbreak to appreciate authenticity when it appears, knows this. You don't force a woman to choose you. You simply become the kind of man she can't help but choose. So pay attention. Not with insecurity, but with awareness. Not with fear, but with clarity. Because when a woman truly wants a future with you, she doesn't tell you with promises. She tells you with patterns. And those patterns never lie. So today's video has ended. Thank you for taking the time to watch it all. I hope you have learned valuable lessons and these shares will help you on your love journey. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to receive more interesting content in the future. I'm very grateful for your support and see you again in the next videos. Wishing you all love and happiness.